Hi everybody, we are a Bed for Me Foundation. I am Diane Freeman and this is Tricia Etheridge, and we want to thank Impact 100 for inviting us here today to let us share our mission with you and to also tell you about the grant process for when we applied in 2019. A little bit about a Bed for Me. We're an organization. We actually started over a conversation in a coffee house. I had read a story about a young lady. She was 18 years old, living in Atlanta, trying to figure out what she wanted to do with her life. And she decided that she needed to put children into beds. They were not sleeping in proper sleep spaces. So after reading about her, I could not stop thinking about it. And I had coffee with a friend who had a social work background. And so I asked her, are there kids in our area that are experiencing the same thing? And she said, absolutely, you would not believe the numbers. So we set out a plan, worked with her. After a short time, there were just some logistic issues and some hiccups. We were not able to move our mission like we wanted to. And so at the beginning of 2018, we broke out from underneath that umbrella and started a Bed for Me Foundation.
And that's kind of when I started with you. I had retired in 2017 from a pediatric medical practice, but still wanted to serve the community, still wanted to be part of that pediatric community and keep that passion going. And so I joined this team of volunteers sitting around a kitchen table trying to figure out how can we make this problem better for the children in our community. Since that time, we've grown out of the kitchen, and so we have gotten to the place where we are now connected through our community, and we are serving almost over 1,400 children in this county since we started. We've been able to partner with other nonprofits and other community agencies, community resources, even through the school district, through religious organizations. Our social media has been very, very helpful to kind of get the word out about our foundation and to get our mission out there, and also to get our applications out so that kids can reach us. People can make referrals to us through usually our website, word of mouth, through social organizations, that type of thing.
Yeah, and since the beginning, this community has just really embraced this mission. All we had to do was start talking about the mission, and kids that were sleeping on the floor, sleeping on an air mattress, sleeping on a couch, sometimes in one bed with parents and or siblings. And people just started opening up their hearts, they started opening up their wallets, they wanted to volunteer, they wanted to donate. They just wanted to help. So we've been very fortunate with the area that we live in and how generous and wonderful people are. And that has definitely been a big part of our success.
Okay, tell them about the deliveries though, about what our bed celebration looks like.
Well, so after we go through a bedding process and we make sure that there actually is a need, then what we do after that is we go back, we collect up all the bedding items, we recruit our volunteers, and part of our bedding process is an introductory visit where we go out to the homes and we actually ask the guardian to be there, ask the children to be there, and that way we can start to develop a relationship with the entire family. And that's an important piece of our process and our mission. So through that introductory visit, with the children being there, we find out their favorite colors, their favorite characters, their favorite sports teams. That way they get to design how they want their bed space to look. So it gives them some ownership in the process. So then back to the bed celebration. After we gather up everything, we have the right bedding that the kids are excited about, or going to be excited about. Then we load up and we take everything to the families' homes. We built this mission on an empowerment model. We don't want to be just a group of people that takes the bed to the homes, drops it off, sets it up for them. The entire family gets involved in the entire process.
Yes.
So everybody helps unload the bed, everybody helps make the bed, everybody helps build the bed, and even the smallest child can carry in a pillow. So it's something that involves the entire family, and that's a big part of of what we're doing.
And that's a big piece of it. Of what I loved so much is, yes, we're able to meet a one-time need by providing this bed that's going to last for that child's lifetime or until they hit adulthood. But we are partners with those families. Not only do we follow our mission and we see and hear each child, because that's evident in the bedding that they get, but we are partnering with that family. We are there to help them meet a need that they are struggling to meet, but they can also, they'll share with us other things that may be going on, and we try to direct them to other agencies or resources that may be in the community that we can tap into. But that's kind of how we got connected to Impact, is in those deliveries, we were limited to the volunteers that had a pickup truck. And if it was a rainy day, then that delivery was delayed. And so that was another day that a child didn't have that bed. So then we were trying to figure out, well, what can we do to solve this problem? We needed a van. We didn't have the resources to get a van, but we learned about Impact 100. And so through the Impact 100 process and the grant process, that's how we got on this road that you're on as well.
Yes, and so we'd like to tell you about the steps we took, the things that we did that were good, the things that we did that we probably would not do again if we were going to do it again, and we've got some tips for you as well. So we'll start with the overall grant process. You've already taken the first step towards success, and that is attending the workshop. We highly recommend that you take advantage of the workshops. I went to and attended 3 of them, and each time that I went, I picked up more tips, I gained more knowledge, I got more comfortable with the application, because at first it can be very overwhelming when you sit down and look at everything. So absolutely continue to attend the workshops.
And when you start looking at all the pieces of that grant, it is overwhelming. So build yourself a team and look at all the sections of that application, and within your team, see who has which strengths and apply those areas to whoever has the skill set for that. But I would say be very authentic and be honest
Definitely.
of what you can do.
Yes.
And stick with that, and be transparent about what you're good at, but also let that impact team know, that review committee member know, what are your struggles? What are you working to really connect the dots?
So now we're going to talk about the application process. And again, like Trisha's already mentioned, and we're going to say it a lot, team, team, team. Make sure that you get a team. There's not one individual that can do this entire process alone, or even 2. So definitely build a team. It can be your volunteers, it can be your board of director members. Pick the people that are passionate and know the subject, and definitely build your team. And then, like we said, what we did was we took the application, we reviewed it, and then we took pieces of it and basically assigned it to different team members based on their expertise and their skill set. Again, use your team, break it apart. Everybody worked on it individually, their own parts, and then what we did was we set a deadline after everybody spent time on their individual parts and came back as the team and reviewed everything.
We did, but then as we came back together, then we reviewed and edited together. But then we send everybody back out again to do more editing and to get more information, because there's a lot to it. So, the things that had to do with our mission or the day-to-day, that was our program director. Financials fell to you because you were our executive director. So everyone has pieces that they are good at within your team, so utilize that. But it took us over a month to complete the entire application.
Yeah.
And I would say, even just because if you complete that application and you don't win the grant, there are still so many benefits that come from just going through the process. We as we went through some of those sections, we realized that there were gaps in our procedures that we really needed to fill in. So it made us better as a foundation, just going through the process. Even that first submission that we did that
Yeah.
we couldn't.
It was a good checklist for
It
us,
was.
and that's
It was.
exactly how we used it. And also during the application process and with your team is just set deadlines for yourself. It keeps you on track, gets you back together. So those are definitely some tips for the application process.
So now we're moving on to your site visit. So as you will learn throughout the details of this workshop today, after you turn in the actual application process, there is some filtering that gets done by the grant review committee. And the next thing that you could hear is that you have a site visit scheduled. Once again, site visit, team. Use your resources of people within you. And make sure that you have an agenda for when the ladies show up to your organization, and decide who's going to do what based on what they know and what everyone's skill set is. And I would say we practiced a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So practice your presentation to people that are not within your nonprofit, within your foundation, so that you can get used to hearing questions or knowing where you stumble or where your gaps are.
Yeah, definitely. And what we would definitely recommend is don't try and change your environment. Just keep your conditions like they are at all times.
That's good.
At that time, the only place that we could do our site visit was the warehouse that we used through the school district. It's a warehouse. It's dirty, it's dusty, it's not pretty, and we were really concerned about bringing a whole group of ladies out to our warehouse for our site visit. Oh, and our site visit was in August. And there's no air conditioning in the warehouse. So we were really concerned about the heat and it just being miserable. And inside the warehouse, there's always this really large fan. It's huge. And we used it all the time, of course, when we were working there. And so we decided that we would turn on the fan, hopefully to keep it a little bit more comfortable for the Impact ladies. They got there and they asked us to turn off the fan. It was too loud. They couldn't hear us. They're so flexible and willing, and they want to see exactly how you're operating and all the conditions that include that. So definitely keep it real. Also, prepare yourself for some hard questions, and that's not always easy to do, but it was a good learning experience for us to listen to those questions, to think about the answers, and even if we didn't have an answer, it was a lot of times their questions during that site visit just stayed with us, and as even down the road, things would come up, and we would look at each other like, remember what the Impact lady said. So prepare yourself for the hard questions and accept the hard questions and appreciate them, because they will help you at some point, no doubt. The biggest thing is enjoy the time while they're there during the site visit. Point. We were all extremely nervous before they showed up, and very nervous. In hindsight, we should have relaxed a little bit and just taken in the time while they were there. They always have just great advice, great input, great suggestions. They're smart ladies. So really just take advantage of the site visit, not only to show your mission and your process and everything, but to
just embrace it.
Embrace it, yeah.
And do you remember, like, one of our volunteers was super nervous?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
She didn't even want to talk in front of 6 people. And but anyway, after we broke everybody apart during the site visit and they went to go visit her, it really just gave her an opportunity to shine. And she left just very, very pleased and happy with the site visit. So enjoy it. Okay, so the next step in the grant process is the presentation. Not everybody gets to do the presentation.
Right. Goes through committee, and the 2 finalists are chosen for the presentation to the entire Impact 100 membership.
Yeah, so everybody that is a member of Impact, this is their opportunity to vote. And so for our suggestions for the presentation is find the member of your team that displays the most passion when they're talking, not necessarily the person who might show the most passion while they write or through your social media, but the person that's going to stand in front of people and explain exactly what you do. So it might not even be your best public speaker. It might be somebody that doesn't speak well. They may stumble over their words, but that's okay. You just want the person that's really going to show the passion of what you do every day. And again, use your team.
Yeah.
Get your team together, write the presentation together. Again, edit it, get everybody's input, and then practice as a
It's
team.
5 minutes, right?
Yes.
It's a 5-minute
Yes.
presentation.
It is
so
a
you have
five-
to be concise.
Exactly. And they're timing you.
Yes.
So there's no forgiveness. And again, practice as a team the presentation. Your presenter, have them practice individually while they're eating breakfast or any time that they can. So just make sure that you practice. One thing that we definitely want to share is we got a lot of feedback after our site visit from the Impact ladies about the presentation and what to include and incorporate. Listen to them. They're going to give you some good suggestions that will help your presentation, so make sure that you don't miss that step.
So, final thoughts for your grant workshop with Impact 100 is the entire process brings value. Even if you are not a finalist, even if you don't receive the grant, all of it is going to make you a better foundation, a better nonprofit, a better organization. I feel like our team was strengthened as a result of just going through this process. And using the team approach really does give everybody an opportunity to shine and to learn as well. So we made some adjustments going through this. We learned some things going through the process. We learned how to streamline our policies, our procedures. We learned how to add some things, some steps along our organization because of going through this process.
Yeah, and don't let the hurdles stop you. We were getting ready for the site visit, and we found out that honestly, probably one of our most passionate members of our team was going to be out of the country the day of our site visit. And we all looked at each other and we thought, we're doomed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is not going to work. We adjusted, got together, gave ourselves all a pep talk, and decided, no, we can do this. And we formed our team,
Yep.
and divvied everything out and ended up having a very successful site visit. So if you hit a stumbling block, keep going. Don't let it stop you.
And also remember, the ladies behind Impact 100 are here to make our entire community better. This is an organization of tremendously smart, talented women whose passion it is just to make this area better and to help all of us do a better job at what we do.
Yeah, they truly want success for everyone. They're your allies through this process, no doubt.
And I will say for me personally, because I was so impressed by what these ladies did and how smart they were, the year after we went through this grant process, I joined Impact 100. I'm now a member. So it's an incredible group to be able to learn from.
So hopefully what we have shared with you has been helpful. We don't regret doing it at all. Even the first time we completed the application and we were not accepted because we actually
It was too early.
Yeah, we were too new basically. But even going through that entire process was beneficial for us. So again, we encourage everybody to do it. And what we want to do now is show you some pictures and some videos of the results of going through the Impact Grant process and being a recipient. As a result, we won in 2019, and we now have a cargo-style van that we can use for every delivery that we make. So we no longer have to worry about the weather. We can pack up the van with as many beds as we can fit and make the trips to different cities, deliver more beds during one trip as opposed to going back and forth. So here's some pictures of our beautiful van with our logo and the Impact logo, and also some happy kids who now have beds and are no longer sleeping on the floor. And then we've got a video to share with you as well.
All right. Yeah, you're Jakai. The bag bigger than you. Oh man, you cut yourself now.
Two bags. Johnny got 2 bags, dude. He's so small.
Do it again, right? Put it on your bed. Got yours? Is it what you wanted? Awesome. All right, we'll go take it in there. We'll make it up. This is the fun part.
You said you wanted to see. Which one? I think we have the same. Do we have the same? What is that?
Spider-Man!
Spider-Man? Is that your hero?
Yeah!
Future Seminole right there. So tell them about the pillow.
So we just want to thank Impact 100 again for inviting us here and to share this day with you guys and the process that you're getting ready to go on. Again, keep going. It is absolutely worth every step that you're going to take. And we just want everybody to sleep tight and
Dream bright.